Hello to my beautiful family of light and love and courage and wisdom and faith. Thanks for joining me again. We have been talking about all the different ways that you are more than you think you are, and what that looks like, what the possibilities look like for being a conscious human being and having a life that is free of, and I won't say completely free, I mean it takes some doing, but let's call it free of struggles and strife and negativity and not having the things that you want in your life and losing your dreams. Why don't we try to reestablish your dreams and hopes and wishes? There are so many ways that the universe, the guidance system that you have within you, the unseen forces want to help you. And so remember, we're learning to become masters of ourselves, masters of our emotions, masters of our thoughts, to manifest and bring into our lives all the things that we desire and can trust and know that every need is being taken care of. And you coming to the realization that you're more than you think you are. With the realization that gratitude and positive thoughts will set you on that path and on that track. And if you can bring yourself little by little back to that throughout a day where maybe things have gone a little sideways and you might be sliding backwards, you were born to be here now. You were born to experience this, not in a way that has you sink into a pit that you can't climb out of, but to recognize it as an experience, to learn to discern how you're feeling and pulling yourself up out of that, realizing that there's stairs out of that pit, and the stairs have to do with putting yourself back into a more positive, energetically frame of mind, realizing that this is what your experience that feels like it's negative and dragging and weighing you down probably is, but that you can stop it. And so, I've asked you in a video, how is your day going? This is you becoming a conscious human, right? This is you becoming conscious to what is going on in any given moment. So this is kind of a reminder in some ways. You're going to have lots of those, hopefully in different ways, to have you realize that you may be sleepwalking. And sleepwalking means that you're not really aware of the powerful being that you are, how you can step into that more readily each day. So there are things that I got to thinking about when this topic sort of began forming within me, and one of those was I asked myself, Claudia, when did you lose that tender, loving heart, the laughter and the joy? When did you put on a thick skin and start building walls and barriers and feel like you needed to protect and defend yourself? And I'm not saying you don't need to do that. It's that there are ways that we can do that by standing in our power, and that's hopefully one of the things that we will come into that. When did that happen? I'm not asking you to relive it. I'm asking you to recall it and then bring it to the crossroads that we talked about in a previous video. And at that crossroads, you get to choose. So this is you taking a moment out of your day when you're standing in the recognition that you're experiencing something that's taking you back down into that pit. And there are steps to come out of it, right? So I don't want you to be struggling. In fact, there's a Taoist saying that if you're struggling, there's no need to struggle to be free. The absence of struggle, the absence is freedom. So that means you just realizing that whatever you're in the middle of, first of all, it needs to stop. And then second of all, how can we remove that little obstacle? It may be a big obstacle, a big boulder in your way that you either have to climb over or go around, and you've been chipping at it and it's not moving. So let's move it a little faster. Becoming free of worry and free to express your true self with honesty, with compassion, understanding, and loving kindness towards yourself is something that's called for here. You are a loving, kind, generous, compassionate being. You are worth every bit of attention that you give to yourself. We really cannot fully love others until we love ourselves. We really can't be compassionate until we learn what compassion is for ourselves. Once that happens, it means that you're taking a little deeper dive into what's been going on in your life. Where your power lies is in an awareness that you can stop the cycle of patterns, habits, behaviors, and even responses of how you, whether you're lashing back at somebody or just standing and looking at them and with all the compassion and love within your heart and in your mind. Let it come into your heart first, and then realize they're lashing out because of whatever pain and suffering they're going through. They may want company on their journey, and maybe you've been accompanying them, and it's time to just stop that cycle. And so freedom and more power comes in not reacting, not responding in a way that you always have, that may be in opposition to the truth of who you are as a divinely loving, kind, compassionate, caring, wise individual. So every day, hundreds of times likely throughout the day, we get to choose the struggle or to be free. And remember, the absence of the struggle is freedom. So working on that is really catamount to getting where you want to go. So let's say you're in a war. You can choose peace. You can just stop. You can say, how long do I want to do this? It took me a lot of years to be able to say, I don't want to do this anymore. Maybe you're looking at the world and how our resources are being spent on a war that we really don't want to be involved in, but we're involved because our money is going into that. Maybe you'd rather feed the children. Maybe you would rather establish a program for children at the library, or improve your school teaching system, or just whatever you need to step away from automatically, and take the deep breaths. It automatically sets you back into your personal power, which is a positive place to be. Positive power is you just standing in the truth of who you are as a soul, having this experience in this human body. Your soul is in there. It's trying to guide you to step back. So, are you willing? Are you willing to just step out of that cycle, even if it's for a few minutes? Every time that you are moments, every time you do it, you get to add time to that you're out of it, and even if it's to clear your mind, so that you can come back with a kinder response, with a more compassionate way of being. People lash out for strange reasons. There's road rage, there's people cutting you off in the grocery line, and all of those things can be treated from a place of you observing how you want to be, as a person that's going to take you into an aspect of negativity, which is down a slippery slope. So I'm asking you to step back, take that deep breath, and ask yourself, what part of you is wanting to dive into this foray that is causing harm, and is a path that's fraught with pebbles and potholes and slippery slopes, and really doesn't accomplish anything on the way to where you want to be. Bullying doesn't work. It only causes the greatest harm, and it's not the truth of who you are. So step out of that for a moment and just say, what's a win-win here? Looking at yourself and the possibilities of you being a better human, a good steward of the planet, a good steward of each other, is a matter of you catching yourself from taking the path that will cause the most amount of harm. There was a reading from the Edgar Cayce readings that had a woman writing in say, I can't stand my mother. I'm so fed up with how she treats me and how all of that it goes on, and I just can't stand her. Now, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember these things word for word. But this reading came back, and it said, your mother doesn't like you very much either. So try to find something positive so that you can get along. Just try to find something positive so that you can get along. I mean, isn't that interesting? There's another one that said, that was somebody really angry and upset with someone else, and it was, there's good in the worst of us, bad in the best of us. It doesn't behoove any of us to think poorly of the rest of us. Does not behoove us. Take the path of kindness. Take the path that is really of least resistance. The part of yourself that wants to protect you from whatever harm happened, whenever it took place. And believe me, I've had somebody grab me by the throat, try to throttle me, which was not pleasant. Never saw that person again. Absolutely just would not let them back into my life. I've had broken bones from harm and other things. I do not consider myself, you can call me a victim, but when you step out of the pattern that created those or brought that stuff into your life, maybe, I'm a fiery-tempered Italian, a little Italian person, and so I have a mouth sometimes that couldn't be too very pleasing. Well, maybe I lashed out at or lashed back at someone, and they were bigger and stronger than me, so that was probably not a wise decision to begin with. You get what I'm saying? Instead of instead of jumping into a foray, take a deep breath, think about where it is you really want to go with this as a divine, powerful being, and in order to step into your power, your divinely orchestrated power, it does not mean lashing out, bullying, harming in any way. No harm. So the other thing is that in order for you to, this just takes me back to the, it feels like I was sleepwalking before I woke up. And when I started waking up and understanding what I will call the spiritual laws, which are the opposite of positive energy, loving, generous kindness, truth, the real truth of who you are, the divinely orchestrated truth. This is God talking, not your life that's a product of your experiences, which may not be so good. And so whatever is loving, truthful, wise, kind, cooperative, generous, loving, compassionate, courageous in the face of adversity, and just full of light and compassion. So you get to choose. You get to choose war or peace, hate or love, kindness or to be mean-spirited. You get to choose cooperative or to be contentious or even obstructive. The idea being, when you stop sleepwalking, you will recognize that you are a powerful being because you get to choose. Your choice is the highest path that you can make. It is the truth of who you are as a divine being here on the earth. And instead of telling Source, I think I've shared this with you, a brother said, he used to wake up and say, get up and go to work, get up, go to work. And he said, I look at you and you it seems, wake up and say, so what do I want to do today? And what I will tell you is, what I do isn't far from that. I wake up and I say, hello, God. So what would you have me do today? What path would you have me walk? That's where you can find yourself as a conscious human being. And the more conscious you become, the better you feel. The better you feel, you will realize that your power is in your words and in your kind and loving actions. And I am here to help you with that. I'm here to help you with that. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, situations that you're having trouble with. And let's walk this life together in joy and harmony and bring about peace upon this planet. And it starts within us. There is no path to peace. Peace is the way. And freedom is the lack of struggle, letting go of the struggle. So enjoy your day. Keep working at it. It gets easier all along the way. And know that I love you this much. If you like this, put a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and have conversations about the ideas, and subscribe. Subscribing is what allows us to continue walking this earth together through these videos. I'll see you next time.